There are moments in a nation's story that begin quietly. A single step, a single breath, and then everything changes. Last night, under the Addis sky, one man took that step for an entire country. JanMeda Bedaso. They call him the Silent Assassin, not because he lacks words, but because his statement was always going to be written inside the cage. He carried more than his own dream. He carried the hopes of a nation that had never seen one of its own compete at this level. On the other side stood Nikate Hilena, a warrior, a veteran, a man who came to crush the fairy tale before it started. But the silence of JanMeda Bedaso was louder than any scream. When he walked toward that cage, he didn't just walk for himself. He walked for every young dreamer in every corner of Ethiopia who was ever told, "Not yet." And when the cage door closed, the talking was over. Nikate Hilena came forward like a storm. Aggressive, relentless, everything you would expect from a seasoned fighter looking to spoil historic night. But storms can be navigated by those who stay calm. Johnny moved like water, every motion precise, every breath controlled. And then, in one fluid moment, he saw the path to history and took it. The rear naked choke, locked in, unescapable. The referee closed the distance, not to stop Johnny, but to save Hilena. A tap, a wave, and just like that, 1 minute and 54 seconds into the very first round, history was no longer a dream. It was real. And then the dam broke. The silent assassin wept, not from pain, not from exhaustion, but from the overwhelming weight of a promise kept. A promise to his country, a promise to his ancestors, a promise to himself. Those tears were the tears of a man who carried a mountain and reached the summit. Opponents become witnesses when history is made. Nikate Hilena stood across from greatness and, in defeat, recognized what had just occurred. Respect passed between warriors. This was not just a victory. This was a birth. The birth of Ethiopian MMA. April 25th, JanMeda. The silent assassin spoke with his hands, and the whole world heard Ethiopia roar.